Hello, good morning. I'm Jennifer. So today I will do a video on how to do our control account. This is the format of control account in accounting. So control account in Malay we call it as account kawalan. Okay, so we have two control account. It's for trade receivable and also trade payable. For trade receivable means someone that owe to us. Okay, means someone that debt to us. Okay, owe to us. But trade payable means someone that we owe to them. Okay, so means we purchase things with them. And for trade receivable is uh, we sell goods to them. Okay, so that's why they owe to us. Okay, so for control account, first we will look on the trade receivable control account. So as we know that receivable is our asset, current asset. So any additional to our asset, current asset will be on the debit side, and reduce to our asset will be on the credit side. Okay, so if you look here, so this is our trade receivable control account. So all the particular in the debit side is the particular that will increase our receivable. Meanwhile, on the credit side, all the particular on the credit side will reduce our trade receivable. Okay, so let's take a look on the credit side first, because which will reduce our trade receivable. So on the credit side of trade receivable, first thing first is actually our balance brought down. So this balance brought down is our balance of receivable from the previous accounting period. Okay, so it's actually balance carried down from the previous trade receivable. So it will be in this year, it will be our balance brought down. Okay, so as you can see here, there are two balance brought down, but usually is on our balance brought down is on our debit side, because trade receivable is our asset, so any balance brought down will be on our debit side. But if our balance brought down um, on the credit side is unusually, but it can happen, but unusual. Okay, so means our balance carried down from the previous accounting periods, it is on the debit side. This one, like this one. Okay, so when we carry it down to the next accounting period, it will be on the debit side. This one. Okay, so this is unusual and this is usually. Okay, but it can happen to balance brought down. So don't panic. And sometimes, if the question give you only one balance brought down, it's okay. You don't have to find the other balance brought down. Okay, so if the question give you one balance brought down, it must be on the debit side. But if the question give you two balance brought down, it's okay. So it can be two balance brought down. Okay, so next is our return inwards or return sales. So return inwards and sell is because of the sales receivable met, okay, to us. I mean the sales that we made to our receivable. They buy things, they buy goods from us. They purchase goods from us means we sell goods to them by credit. Okay, by credit means they owe to us. Okay, so this is the sales on the credit side, and we can give them. I mean, when they return the goods, because of the goods is not in a good condition, so they will return it back. So if they met sales, it will increase our trade receivable. But when return it, so the return inwards will reduce our trade receivable. Okay. Next is the bank or cash. So the bank or cash means when they purchase from us, mean when we sell to them, so they need to pay us. So when they pay to us using bank or cash, so when they pay to us, it will reduce their debt, or it will reduce their receivable. Okay, so the reduce will be on the credit side. But when they already pay to us, but if suddenly, okay, so I'm I say it again, when they pay to us, so it will reduce their debt, their receivable, so it will be on the credit side. But if suddenly the check issue, okay, the check, maybe it's bank, if the check they issue to us, okay, so when we bank into our bank, credit bank, um, and suddenly the check has dishonor, okay, maybe because of there is something wrong with issuing in the bank, maybe because of the debt issue is not uh, the debt issue is not correctly issued. For example, like they pay to us, the debt is today 22nd of March, but the issue on the check is 25th of March, so the 25th is not happen uh, not happen yet, but they pay to us today, so the bank will cancel the check, so it will be dishonor check, or maybe wrong year issue. Okay, for example, like this year is 2020, so you should issue on your check is 2020, but maybe they wrongly issue 2021 or 2019, so it's incorrect, so the bank will dishonor the check. Or maybe the sign on the check is not correctly signed, so it will also cancel, the bank will also cancel the check. Okay, so it will be dishonor check, so we need to increase again our trade receivable because of this dishonor check. Okay, so the third one, discount allowed. So when the trade receivable want to pay their debt, so sometimes we will give them discount. So discount is actually for the receivable to pay their debt, I mean to pay early. Okay, so when we give them discount, and suddenly because of this on a check, so we will cancel the discount. So it's discount allowed, cancel on the debit side. So discount allowed on the debit side, cancel. So when they cancel, it will increase our trade receivable. Okay, the fourth one is bad debts. So I did explain what is bad debts on my previous video. So bad debts is actually when the receivable cannot seriously cannot pay their debts to us. For example, like the receivable is debt, okay, or the receivable is become bankruptcy, so they don't have money to pay their receivable, their debts, so we will issue it as our bad debts, so it will be our expenses. Okay, so it will reduce the trade receivable. Okay, they cannot pay, so we need to minus it from the receivable and goes into our expenses. Okay, and then this contra. So contra is actually because of this control account. So contra is on the trade receivable, it will be on the credit side, but it will be on the debit side with trade receivable. Okay, so as you can see, this must be a one debit and one credit. So it's catatan berdu. Okay, yeah. So it's because of the control account. Okay, and then let me see on the debit side. So this one I already explained, sales. We have written sales, but this on a check because of this bank, this discount allowed cancel because of the discount allowed and because of the this on a check. And this is some extra charges because of the sales. Okay, so extra charges to the receivable, freight charges, interest charges, and also legal fees. Okay, so these charges and fees will increase our trade receivable. Okay, so at the end, we need to calculate. So there are two possibilities patient asks us to do. Okay, either we need to find how much is our balance carried down. Okay, how much is our balance carried down, or sometimes the question will ask how much is our sales. Okay, if the question give you sales, means you need to find the balance carried down. Okay, but if the question give you balance carried down, means you need to find how much is your sales. Or maybe also sometimes question give you sales balance CD, but they don't give you what is the bank amount, so you need to find the bank amount. Okay, yeah, so at the end, how to calculate? So you need to calculate both. Which one has the highest? Which one is have the highest value? For example, like if the debit side is more than our credit side, so the debit side value total amount will be our balance here, and then we will you need to minus the other amount from this particular, so the balance will be our balance carried down. Okay. And for example, like our credit side is more than our debit side, so we will use the credit side total amount as the balances, and we minus the others to find how much is our sales. Okay, so at the end, total on the debit side must be equal to total on the credit side. Okay, and vice versa. Okay, so if we have two balance brought down, if you have two balance brought down, it must be two balance credit down and carried down. Okay, so if you have a balance brought down on the debit side, which is on the credit side, which is unusual, so you also must have the balance carried down on the debit side. But this is unusual. I said it again, this is unusual. So don't panic if the question doesn't give you two balance brought down. Okay? But if the question give you only one, so your balance carried down will be on the credit, only on the credit side. Okay, I hope you will understand. And if you have any question, you can ask me through my comment on my YouTube channel. Thank you.